Hello, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my crafty corner of the internet. I am making this video for myself as a record of what I'm working on and try to keep myself accountable because I have so many interests. So what I wanted to talk about today, what I was going to share with people, is my cross-stitch projects and some knitting projects. I also have some quilting going on, as well as spinning. I probably won't share the spinning so much. So this is what I plan to talk about, and welcome. I hope you enjoy what I've been working on, and let's dive in. First, I was going to share with you one project I finished earlier this year, which is called "'Tis a Lovely Bird." It is designed by Sandra Sullivan. It's from Homespun Elegance. It's a quick glance. I know the words are backwards. I'm recording this on my phone. I couldn't get the right sound quality on my camera, so I am using my phone for this video to try it out. And this is my finished stitching of "'Tis a Lovely Bird." I used this, it's on linen. I stitched it 1/2, and I used the Weeks Dye Works colors. I did make one substitution. I used, I believe, a DMC for this dark blue here under the wing and the beak and around the butterfly here. I could not get the called for color for Weeks Dye Works. So I'll have to take that off to the framers. I think I want to hang this one in my bedroom. The walls in my bedroom are kind of this, kind of a gold, yellowy gold kind of color, so I just thought it would look nice in there. So yeah, so "'Tis a Lovely Bird." That was a really fun, fast stitch. I think that was in like March, April time frame, so earlier this year in 2021. So I'll set that aside. One of my other projects, sorry, I'm reaching quite a ways here. One of my other projects that I've been working on this has been a long-going whip. It is by Waxing Moon Designs, and it is this one here. It's called "Use It Up, Wear It Out, Make It Do or Do Without." So it's a great old saying. And this, I don't know what this fabric is. It's stiff and it's a large count, so I'm thinking it's maybe Aida of some sort, but it's stiff. It's taking me so long because I don't really like working with this very stiff fabric, but this is where we're at. I did put the year, I did finally stitch 2021 in here in hopes that that will encourage me to finish this project this year. So maybe with the videos, keeping a video record, that will also help me plug along. The local needlework shop at the time when I purchased this, quite a few years ago, was called the Wooden Needle, and it was in Stowe, Vermont. Great little shop. They have closed. The owner has since retired, so I don't have a local needlework shop anymore. And as I was working on this, I ran out of the color, so that kind of put it on hold for a little while until I realized, Crystal, you can order this online. So I was able to get another skein of the Gentle Arts dark chocolate floss that I was using for this, and this is 2/1, and I'm pretty close to a finish on it. I've got, let's see here, I've got some more stitching up here at the top, some of the kind of vines and berries, and then I've got to do the leaves here along this flower, and I think there's some leaves and berries down here at the bottom. Other than that, I think it's pretty close. So that, I did have to go in as I'm doing these berries and I'm doing this outlining on the vines. I do have to go in and pierce through the center of the fabric. Some of the squares, I wasn't sure how to do that, and that kind of caused some delay for quite a while, but I figured that out thanks to YouTube videos. I was able to do those kind of half stitches. So that is Use It Up, Wear It Out, Make It Do, or Do Without by Waxing Moon Designs. So hopefully this one will be completed in 2021. Need to put that in a more regular rotation. And I have one here that I will show you. This is a holiday piece. It's a Prairie Schooler piece, the Santas. It is 2017 North Pole. He is so cute. The polar bear and the little bird in his pocket, the compass. I really enjoyed that. So I was working on this one last year, and I set it down for a while. When I went to pick it up again, I'm not sure that you'll be able to tell, I went to pick it up again, and I didn't have project bags. So, this is my current progress. So I have a little bit of an error here. I didn't have a project bag at the time, and I was keeping this kind of on the shelf, on a bookshelf in my room. I picked up the wrong color red floss. So there is a little piece. I didn't notice. I was stitching it in the evening in the living room, and then the next morning I was stitching in my bedroom, and I was like, I don't think the red is right. I wasn't quite sure. They were so close. And then I was stitching that morning, and I pulled the green. Well, the green was wrong too, and so when I went to work in the living room later that day, I realized, yeah, the green is wrong. So I ended up tearing the green out, and I redid that one correctly. But that caused me to figure out I need project bags. So at that time, I was searching. I think I saw Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, and I saw her video tutorial on how to make project bags. So I did that, and that way I don't get my flosses mixed up. So I made this project bag, this holiday one, for this holiday piece to be in, and I used just a white lining. This lining is interesting. I actually used an old sheet, bed sheet. You know, the bottom sheet was gone, long gone. So it was just a flat sheet, not the fitted sheet, but a flat one. So I cut that up, and I have actually used this white in each of my project bags that I've made. So somewhere, I don't know where, I heard somebody caution about the fabrics bleeding onto their linen pieces. So that just assured me that yes, I want to use a white. And of course, this being a bed sheet, it's been washed many, many times. And I did pre-wash my fabrics. So this was a really fun sewing project. Caused me to get my sewing machine out, and I was able to whip that up in no time. So that was one I thought I'd share with you. And I have a few others that I thought I would share today as well, kind of a little bit of a whip parade. So what do I have going on? I've got this one here, this project bag, which, oh, I just love this fabric. I got this at Joann Fabrics. It's so pretty. So I didn't do a contrasting top. I kept it all the same front and back. Again, I used the same white sheet fabric on the lining. And this one, is actually a gift, which you'll see by the date. Today is Friday, August 13th, and this piece is a wedding gift for one of my cousins. She's getting married tomorrow. The piece is not done, so this will have to be a little bit late, but I want to get it framed. So she is nearly done. It's on 32 count lamb's wool, linen, or lamb's wool. I'm pretty sure it's linen. So this is a pattern I got off the internet. I downloaded. I think I purchased it on Etsy. So it has their last name, their wedding date, and then it has the same design at the bottom. So I did make a mistake in that one yesterday, so I have to pull out one of these little leaves down here. So this one is pretty close. I'll have this done within the week, and then I can get it framed, and we'll give it to Megan and Joey for their wedding, a little wedding, late wedding gift, and they won't mind. I have a wedding gift my sister made for my husband and I years ago. She did a cross-stitch piece for us with our names and our wedding date and a Bible verse on it. It hangs in our kitchen, kind of the hallway, the kitchen area, just off the entry. So I love it, and she made that one for us. Our anniversary is later this month in August, so it'll be 24 years. So that has hung on our wall ever since our wedding. And I love that. Maybe I'll share that at some point down the road. So there's that one. And I don't know the designer. Like I said, I printed that one off the internet, and I don't know the designer on that pattern. But it is lovely, and it's just a very simple lacy pattern. The colors I chose on there are the it's almost a terracotta kind of color. I forget what she called it, Sedona maybe. That's the color that the bridesmaids will wear, and then the name is in a kind of a tan brown. That's the color that the groom and the groomsmen will be wearing as a tan suits for the wedding. So I kind of wish I did it on a white fabric because Megan's dress will be white. I kind of wish I did that, but I didn't, so I used the lamb's wool, and it's pretty. I like that kind of terracotta color on the cream, so it is what it is, but I think it's pretty. And then I'll share with you my next piece. Pull my floss out of the bag here without getting it all tangled. This is by Teresa Koga. It is Newcastle Bouquet. It is my birthday start this year. My birthday was in May, so well, I won't take I have this one in a hoop. I won't take the hoop off. I'll just show you the way it is because it doesn't have a huge start. This is on a 40 count linen, and so I just had started in the top left corner, and it has the alphabet. I've got the A done and a couple of the corner flowers. So not a huge start, but I do take this out each month and work on it 2 to 3 times. So I get a few threads in each month. So there's that one. And this is a big piece. So this one I expect to take me quite a long time. This is not a quick one. I still have this in the bag. Hopefully it's not too crinkly, but that's the piece. You can kind of see. I just think that is a beautiful design. So I enjoy working on that. The fabric is, like I said, 40 count, so it takes me some time to work on it. I have to have the right daylight, and some days my eyes just can't do it, but that was that one. I have 2 more cross-stitch projects that I'll share with you. I have a few others that I'm working on, but I won't pull them out because I haven't done much with them. So this pattern I also purchased off Etsy. This is called A House Is. You can see here. This is not a very good printout. My printer ink was low when I printed that one. I don't have a huge start on it. It doesn't seem like a huge start, but it's, I worked on the border. It has taken a long time. This is also a 40 count linen. Unfortunately, I don't remember which brand, but I'll show you. So I've got the border here. So far, I've got half of it now. The top and the right-hand side. It's also going to take me some time, just again, because it is a 40 count linen piece. But I love the house. I love that house. I'm excited to stitch it. So the phrase on here says, "A house is made of wood and stone, but only love can make it a home." So I just think that's beautiful. It's 129 by 129 stitches. So it's a square piece with a, this wavy border. So I keep that one in this other project bag that I made for myself. This one, oh, actually this one doesn't have has a different liner. This project bag is a little larger, but I love this fabric. I think this fabric is Riley Blake, but I'm not positive. I bought it earlier this year in Middlebury at a fabric shop in Middlebury, Vermont. But I used a piece of fabric that I had in my stash that I've had for a really long time. So it's neutral, so it's cream. I didn't worry about it bleeding color, and it's been washed, of course. So it just has this leafy pattern, so it kind of goes well with the flowers. So yeah, that's that one. So I think that's 3, 4, 5, and the last project I will share with you today for cross stitch is a Prairie Schooler sampler, which is in this fun little project bag. Which the back is all here. Again, this is fabric that I had in my stash. I purchased at Joann's a couple of years ago, and it was just had it, and I just found a pink. I think I just purchased a little fat quarter square, and it blended nicely here, so I thought that was nice with a little gray zipper. And I used the white gold sheet on this one. And this is a Prairie Schooler Seasons, Country Seasons piece. And there are the 4 seasons: winter, summer, spring, and autumn. So they're small little pieces. I'm currently working on summer. I used the 32 count lamb's wool on this one as well. And again, it's not a huge start, but I'll show you. Here we go. So this is the summer, so I've got the flag, I've got the tree and the bird in the upper corner here. And I think there's a house that'll go in here. And there's a swan down on the water with some flowers and like a little table. So yeah, so there's that one. I like the 4 seasons. I don't know, something about this just made me think of I don't know, Vermont Life magazines. The magazines, I don't think they're in publication anymore. I think they recently closed, but something about that just kind of was quaint and beautiful to me, so I like that. I'm working on those. That's kind of my whip parade for today. I didn't pull everything out. I have a couple others, but they're not very far along. So I just thought I would keep those for another day. When I work on those again, I will share them with you. And I'm eager to finish my Prairie Schooler Santa. I'm pretty close to being done. I have to do the bear, the polar bear's face, and then finish up the clock and the little Christmas tree that's in the basket that Santa's carrying, and then the back stitching, the edging. So there's I guess a fair amount left, but I should have that done. If I focus on that one, I should have that done within the month, so I can have that complete in September. And I could start a new holiday piece. That bag will be empty. I've made myself 7 project bags. That way I can have one project for each day of the week, was my idea. I don't actually get to stitch that often on everything, but partially my own fault because I have too many hobbies. Knitting and sewing and spinning, and so, you know, I can't do all of it every single day. I have to break it up. But anyways, for future plans, once my Prairie Schooler Santa is complete, I will start Teresa Kogut's Struttin'. I just love this. It's so cute. It's just adorable. The Santa Claus with a little reindeer on a leash there. Got a little glare. Love that. So I'm excited to start that one. So that is my next piece once I have a finish. I told myself I can't start anything else until I free up a bag. And the first piece I showed you, the use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without, is not in a project bag. So I guess I should finish a couple of projects. But yeah, that's my cross stitch activity. I will share with you some of the other things I'm working on knitting wise. I have a few projects. I like to keep a pair of socks or, you know, a small accessory piece, socks, mittens, hat, that kind of thing, and one sweater. It's kind of my comfort level, although I do have a tendency to be distracted and want to start something new, but I have 2 pairs of socks and one sweater on the needles right now, and I keep telling myself, don't start anything new, don't start anything new until you finish some of these. So these are, this is a Christmas gift for one of my sons. I have 3 boys. They are, my oldest is 23, he's married, and then I have an 18-year-old, and he's had the same girlfriend for a couple of years. I made her some socks last year at Christmas. She loves them, so you know, I should make her another pair this year. And then my youngest son is 16, and he saw me working on these, so he asked if he could also have a pair. So anyways, these are just pair of socks. They're heavy, kind of heavy boot sock. You know, all my boys and my husband like to go hunting in the fall, and it's cold out. It's here in Vermont, so they, in the winter, you know, working outdoors and shoveling and, you know, all the winter fun things. We have a sugar house, so we work on sugar and lines, you know, all year. So they're out in the woods quite a bit. So this is 100% wool. There's no, it's all 100% natural, I should say. I purchased this yarn during, actually it wasn't during, it was just before the Great Northern Yarn Haul. That was so much fun. That was from July 9th through August 1st, and it had yarn stores, knitting shops in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, and I think there were 24 of them. I was able to visit 10 of the stores here in Vermont. So that was a lot of fun. So it got me out of my local area, but this one is actually local to me. So I purchased this yarn from Mad River Fiber Arts and Mill in Waitsfield, Vermont, and this is fiber from Peter's Home Farm in Williston, Vermont, and this is made from Shetland and mohair. So I thought the mohair would help give it strength, so because there's no viscose or no, it's all natural. There's nothing man-made in here to help strengthen it. So this is, this skein is 230 yards, 231 yards. It's a DK weight, so it is a heavy sock. Each skein can make one sock, so I bought two, but this one, you got this pattern's Yankee Knitters pattern. It's a 3x1 rib and a 1x1 rib at the top, 3x1 here down the leg. I did use a different heel flap. I used the Eye of Partridge pattern for the heel flap. It doesn't really show in this yarn. A little disappointing, but it's sturdy. And so I'm working on the foot, and I was trying to decide if I'm going to do a decrease throughout the foot down to the toe and do the circular end, or if I just want to do the decreases with the Kitchener stitch. So I've got to make that decision here pretty quickly. And that's the first sock. So here's that one. And the other sock that I do have on the needles, I started earlier. It's a little fancier sock. I have this in my yarn bowl that my husband bought for me a couple of years ago for the holidays. So thank you, honey. It's great. So this sock, this is the leg. It's top down. Has a Saxon braid, and then it has this moss stitch pattern all around the back of the leg. I made a mistake in it right here at the end, so I'm gonna have to frog back a little bit and fix that. I love this. This pattern is from the book A Fine Fleece, Knitting with Hand-Spun Yarns by Lisa Lloyd. It's a forward by Clara Parks. And the pattern is, it's a Saxon braid, so I think it's called Saxon. Let's see if I can find a photo of it. Saxony. Show you without the pattern. Yeah. So it's kind of a quick look at the sock. And it is knit with, to remember the name of the yarn, it's Tenderfoot. This yarn is 75% merino lamb's wool and 25% polyamide. So it is a nice sock yarn. I have another skein which I purchased during the Great Northern Yarn Haul. So I can knit another pair of socks from this. This brown here that I'm using is leftover yarn that I knit. I knit my husband a pair of socks last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. Maybe the year before, but this was left over and I have enough to make a pair of socks. I had to purchase 2 skeins of the brown. I had a lot extra because he wanted those socks to be tall up to his knee so they would go under his rubber boots. So I did that, and I think I'll be able to make another pair of socks with that. So that is a fun little project, but it was in timeout for a little while because I have to rip back a couple of rows with the cable. It's just tricky and I just need time and I have to have the patience. But I'll pick those up again. I may end up giving them to my my grandmother. The heel flap, after the heel flap is just straight knitting, so it'll be really fast. Once I get through the heel flap gusset, it'll just fly off the needles. It'll be really quick. But my grandmother has always knit for everyone in our family. She is now 93 years old. Amazing. She's not really knitting so much anymore, but a little bit, but not too much. So my mother has been telling me I should make her some socks, And she actually gave me socks that my grandfather knit years ago when he was recovering from an accident. He was in the hospital and the nurses taught him to knit to keep him busy. And so he learned to make socks. And so he had them years ago. He's, passed away almost 20 years ago. But my grandmother gave me the socks that he had made. So I have those. Those are kind of cherished. So my mother has told me I should make some socks for my gram. So I think that's where those will go. And I have this sweater. Yes, so I have one sweater on the needles, and it's in this bag here. So I'll show this to you. My mother made this for me. I love it. So it's just it's got a drawstring top, but it also has handles. So big, bulky, it holds the whole sweater. Love this bag. I should ask her to make me some more. I mean, I could make them, but it's nice when she does it. So there's the bag, and this is yarn I purchased, from Joann Fabrics last year. It's fisherman's wool, Lion Brand fisherman wool. They're 8-ounce skeins, those big jumbo skeins. So we'll see how this wears. I think they were about $13 a skein, and I think I'll be able to do this sweater with 3, so not a bad price at all. And this is a new technique to me. I have done sweaters in the past that are pieced and sewn together, but this one is in the round, bottom up. And so this is the bottom, the waist. It's got a little shaping here from the bottom, so it's got shaping coming in for the waist, and then it goes back out to the bust. I did make an alteration on this pattern. This is the Tucker pattern. So it has this garter stitch at the waist, at the bottom. It's all, stockinette with a little bit of shaping, and then the sleeves are the same. I've got one of the sleeves complete and on hold here. So this, again, it's got the garter at the bottom, the wrist. It comes up, and then it'll be joined together here under the arms, and then the yoke has a cable that goes around. So that will be interesting. So I've never done a cable going around like that. I've done them up and down, but never around. So that will be a new experience for me, as well as this sweater construction style. So I will be watching some videos, get some advice on that, and I'll get this together. I have the second sleeve. The second sleeve is maybe this far, but I just set it on the floor in my bag, so you'll see this again, I'm sure. It'll be a little while. It has been very hot this week. Upper 80s, 90s. Today is supposed to be 90 again. It is hot, too hot to knit. So I have been cross-stitching this week. It's nice to be able to switch back and forth. It's too hot. So this will be another week or two before I get back to it, just because of the temperatures. I was telling you about the Great Northern Yarn Haul and how much fun that was. I went to different stores. I was able to find these little stitch markers. I had a little package of them purchased a couple years ago at a local yarn shop, and they remind me of like little candies. So see if you can see here. Well, yeah, what's that? So little glass beads on the round loops, and I hadn't seen them in any of the other yarn stores I'd been to. And then I went to this one in Plainfield, Vermont. They are only open 2 days a week. It is the Vermont yarn store at Plainfield Farm. They're open on Fridays and Saturdays, and she had them. She told me that the woman that makes them is no longer making them. That's probably why I haven't seen them anywhere else. But I love them. So I bought, I think, 3 packages, and each package had these unique little ones in there as well. So this one's a little heart, and this one is a little puzzle piece. It's cute. And then a strawberry. It's adorable little strawberry. So I was able to find some of these. So I added those to my knitting accessory pieces. So I love those. One of the other things I purchased was from Cloverworks Farm in Albany, Vermont, and I purchased a sweater's quantity of this beautiful hand-dyed yarn. This was made from fiber from her sheep there at the farm, which she gave us a tour. We got to go visit the sheep in the field, in the pasture. And then she didn't have enough on hand, so she actually dyed this up to make sure that I would have enough in the same dye lot. So I have lots of this, and I'm trying to decide which pattern I want to use for this gorgeous yarn. So those were some of my recent acquisitions. There's another skein of this. It's just beautiful. Love this dark blue. Goes into the grays. That's one of my future projects. I also purchased yarn, I'll show you maybe another time, for a sweater for my husband. And got a sweater's quantity for him, and that is from the Rowan book that recently came out. I'll have to show you. I didn't bring it over here with me today, but I'll share that on another day. I think right now this is quite a bit. Yeah, so 37, almost 40 minutes. So I think I'll stop here. And as far as showing you what I've got in front of me, I didn't share the photo of the Tucker sweater. The Tucker sweater, this last one that I'm working on, is from a book. Here we go, I'll show you the book. It's 100 Knits by Interweave. My husband purchased this as a gift for me a few years ago for our anniversary. Let me see if I can quickly, without getting to a pattern, show you a picture of this sweater. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, let's see. There you go. You can kind of see what that looks like. I did a larger size on the waistband. I wanted it not quite as fitted. I wanted it more loose. So I did the next size up on the waist, and then I decreased it, and then I increased for the chest, bringing out to the size that I wanted. So I just wanted a little extra room on that sweater, so it's comfy. So again, Interweave Knits, 100 Knits, Interweave's Ultimate Pattern Collection. So this was a couple of years ago. I love that sweater pattern since I saw it come out. I think it was 2015 in the magazine. I believe that's where I first saw it. Long time ago. Saw it in a magazine at the library. Loved it. Didn't feel knitting. I didn't feel like I had enough time at that point in my life to knit. So I've just picked it up again here in the last couple of years, which has been really enjoyable. So let's see, my husband and I are members. We just recently joined the 251 Club in Vermont, which is an organized group where you visit all 251 towns in Vermont, which we're both born and raised here. So why not go to these smaller communities that aren't kind of on your general everyday travels, just to see more of our state. So as we do that over the next few years, I'll probably check out any stores, cross-stitch, fabric, knitting. I'm not actually sure that there's any cross-stitch stores in Vermont, but if I find them, I will share. So I haven't been able to find any online, but I will keep searching. So I'll share those in our travels if anything comes up that's of interest. So thank you very much for watching. Hope if you've stuck with me this long, thank you. I'm thinking maybe check in about once a month, and maybe next time I'll show you my cross stitch and my quilting. So I've got a couple of different quilt projects going on, so we'll see. So I hope everybody stays well, stays safe. Thank you. Take care. Bye.